Hey, we're getting a little better at this, Mike. So I'm sure
Yeah.
the next grid will score 700, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, we're not. We're better than that. Welcome to Ordinary Effort, where a bunch of random fans get some random baseball players and try not to biff the grid. I'm Mike here with my buddy Josh. We're looking at Immaculate Grid 518. And Josh, we've had a lot of guests, and we're again back to just the two of us on this grid.
back to the basics. When we were looking at this grid, I was pumped that the Yankees were on it because we came hot out of the gate with some of our favorite teams when we first launched the show. Then we kind of went into our corner. It was like, we don't want people to think we're only recording our favorite teams, but I'm a Yankees fan. I'm thrilled that the Yankees are on this grid. This is a fun one in general. So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy to get this one in there for you because I do think we've leaned a little Mets heavy on
yeah,
past grids before, which I'm fine with, but I'm also aware that like we've done it. So I'm glad we got a Yankees grid on here for you that has nothing to do with
yeah,
I'm gonna throw former Mets on here. Like
yeah,
I'm
of
looking at a
course.
box
Yeah.
right now. But yeah, where
I'm
do you
kind of
want to
constantly around Mets fans too. I mean, and then on that note, I want to plug something quick if you're listening. We a while back we started a Discord server where it's basically just like a really fun community if you love Immaculate Grid. People are in there. I mean, Mike, I mean, we talk about it. Sometimes there's hundreds of messages. I can't keep up. Like,
it's so active and the people in there are so knowledgeable about baseball. Like we
yeah.
call ourselves ordinary before meeting these people.
Oh yeah.
And it's just heavily reinforced because there's the amount of baseball knowledge that we've gotten just from being in our own Discord is
Yeah.
incredible.
Now, if you're listening and you're like, what is Discord? Or, what are we even talking about? Basically, think about it as like an app where you have a community of people who like the same thing you like. So there's different, chat channels where you can talk grid legends, like guys you love to use on the grid, baseball in the wild, like stadiums you've been to. We're, talking about news we hear in the baseball world, and then sharing our daily grid. So, if you're listening, check the show description. If you're watching, check the YouTube description. We'll drop the link to the Discord. I would love to have you there. So, I mean, that's a real fun one. But without further ado, let's.
Wait, wait, whoa, 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 hold on.
Oh,
Don't
okay,
forget,
okay.
don't forget Team Immaculate, the Team Immaculate channel in the
Oh my
Discord where we
gosh, the best
play
part, the
a few
best
nights a
part.
week. Where do we knock out a grid with whoever wants to play, sometimes multiple grids because there's a bunch
Yeah,
of people who want to throw and we each take a box. That's been a blast.
that's the bread and butter. You're right. We have come up with variants of the grid. Price is Right style, like
That's a great
high
one.
rarity, low rarity. So, yeah, I mean, just come hang with us in that. It's a ton of fun. Would love to see you in there. Now let's get to the grid.
All right.
If you're listening, we're doing grid 518, as Mike said. Going up, we've got played center field, Twins, Guardians, and then going across Rangers, Yankees, and 30 home run season. It's a great grid. Mike, where do you want to start?
Um, so why don't we start in the center
Oh
with
yeah,
Yankees Twins? Now, and this playing off of the going piggybacking off of the Discord comment, there's a player we learned from the Discord channel, old school pitcher. There's a couple players that work here. From the Discord channel, we learned that Bobo Newsom, I believe, right, played for both of
yeah,
these teams. Never heard of him before
yeah,
we started this channel, or the Discord server. I keep getting
yeah,
this.
yeah,
And then friend of the grid, friend of ordinary effort now, I guess we can say, right?
yeah,
Um, Denny Nagel also fits this
yeah.
box.
Denny's a really good one because when we dove into it, I mean, so first, as we said, like Denny's been super supportive of the channel, and we did a deep dive into Denny's career. And he started with the Twins, but had a really brief, like 7 games.
7 games, yeah.
And he was only on the Yankees for that 2000 World Series run. So I think the rarity on this is going to be worth
It's
it.
yeah, I think you're right.
I think we go Denny here. Yeah.
Give Denny another shout. Point
Yeah.
zero seven,
Yeah.
hidden
I had a
gem, Denny
feeling. Yeah.
Nagel.
Yeah.
Thank you, Denny.
Nice. Let's jump off the Yankees. I mean, I kind of want to savor it a little bit.
That was the whole point of this. We did
I've
this for
got
you.
guys. I've got guys, but
Okay. All right. We'll save that for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up with some good ones like we did early on with Mets Yankees stuff. Where do you want to go then?
Maybe let's do go across Twins Rangers.
Okay.
Trying to think here.
Twins Rangers. Joe Nathan is the first
Oh,
one that comes to
yeah,
mind. What was it? I think you mentioned him on one of our other grids a while back where he had that one
yeah,
resurgent season. Was it with
he did.
Texas?
He did. He had 40 saves.
Yeah.
So of course, like a great career with the Twins, but he did have 40 saves. I think he was either 39 or 40 at the time. He's older in his career. Um, you got someone.
So I am worried that he's not going to be very rare for going for low rarity
Okay.
score because I feel like people know not that the guys I'm going to say are obscure. Bartolo Colon works here.
Oh, yeah,
Former
yeah,
Met, former Yankee, so it's not just the.
yeah.
And then, but and you also have Mitch Garver works here,
I was thinking Mitch Garver. Yeah.
and then R.A. Dickey works here.
Oh.
He started his career in Texas, I believe. Started his career, he was not a knuckleball pitcher.
Mm.
Had a rough start to his career, and then learned the knuckleball, and kind of that revitalized his entire career and gave him many more years in the majors. I'm pretty sure he pitched for the Twins too.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Out of the guys you've named, I kind of like putting R.A. Dickey there. I feel like people think Mets Blue Jays for sure, right? So I think,
Mets, Blue Jays, even Braves was he
yeah,
pitched for the Braves after he really came back to, you know, prominence with winning the Cy Young with the Mets. But I think he was on the Twins before all of that. So
yeah.
this might be a little bit. You want to go Dickey here?
I
R.A.
think we're good with it.
Dickey?
Yeah, I'm good with
All
Dickey.
right.
Yeah.
0.8%,
There you
another hidden
go.
gem.
Nice. We
Okay.
can sprinkle a Yankee one in. How about Yankees played center field? I immediately think of, I mean, there's so many, what a category, right? I mean, like, we're
I
not going to
mean,
put Mickey Mantle, but I mean,
this guy named Joe, I think,
yeah,
played for the
yeah.
Yankees, right? A couple
Joe
games out there
DiMaggio,
in
if you've
center.
heard of him. Yeah.
He was all right. He did
Um,
all right.
you've got Melky Cabrera.
Oh
I
yeah.
usually use Bubba Crosby here. He
Oh,
only played for the Dodgers and the Yankees.
does Billy McKinney fit here?
He might. He might. I mean, the Yankees, yeah, he might fit there. The one I'm thinking about though is from the Discord. And I didn't know this, but Ron Guidry played the outfield a few games.
Oh,
And center field is one of the positions he played. And we've talked about these like grid hacks that people know, like Posada playing second base, Luis Astudillo, but I don't know that
oh yeah,
everyone
yeah, yeah.
knows the Guidry one.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm not sure where because like I feel like Posada at second base has picked up steam. I think we used
Yeah,
him a little bit ago and he was like 2%. Not that 2% is
yeah,
crazy high, but I think people
sure.
kind of caught on to some of these. Um, but yeah, that might
I
be
mean,
a
there
good
might be
one.
rarer ones like Greg
So,
Allen.
oh, Greg Allen, he actually worked for Yankees Cleveland, so
He
we could
does. We
pocket
could
him for
pocket
that.
that. Yeah.
And another guy we talked about with the guys from Two Strike Noise, which was also a really fun episode.
Yeah.
But we learned from them that Lance Johnson had a record label
Yeah.
called One
Yes.
Dog,
Yes.
and he
One
was
dog.
he was
Yeah.
briefly on the Yankees also.
Yeah. It's
So
a good one too.
we
Yeah.
have some options. I mean, I'm gonna defer to you as the
Yeah.
Yankee fan
I don't know if it's going to be the rarest one because we've named some really good ones, but I think getting Gidry on here in this box because I want other people to, I
to
mean, I
learn
don't want
this.
people to know, and I want people to know.
Leaking all the
Uh,
secrets that aren't even ours to share in the first place.
yeah.
Yeah, Ron Guidry, Yankee center field, 0.9%
Okay.
hidden
I'm gonna
gem.
be honest. That's it's a hidden gem, but like people know, I think. Like it's not
Yeah,
a point oh kind of
yeah.
thing, but yeah, I love that.
It start with a triple play here too, so that's very
Okay,
nice.
nice. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm going to say
Um,
this because I these threshold
yeah.
columns sometimes like give me fits, but there's a player that I have in mind for Twins 30
Okay.
home run season. And I mean, obviously, I think I want to say like Gary Gaetti probably was
Yeah.
prolific home run hitter with the Twins in the 80s, into the 90s, I guess, with the World Series teams. But
Yeah.
do you remember? I want to say this has got to be probably 15 years ago, maybe like early 2010s. Josh Willingham had a
Oh,
year with the Twins that, no, I mean, no disrespect to him. He was a fine player with the Marlins, but out of nowhere, he just hit 30 home runs. And then I don't think he was in the league much longer after that season, but I remember that he just went off one year and it made no sense to me.
yeah.
Well, I guess it was like the player that the Marlins wanted him to be. He
Right.
did that for a season with
Right.
the Twins. I think he hit 30 home runs with them. And I don't know how many people
Yeah.
remember the famed Twins run of Josh Willingham.
I
I'm sure
am not
people
one
do,
of
but
those people. I don't. That doesn't mean it's rare, but I think that's a good answer. We could sit here and think of some others.
yeah.
But I love that it's probably, do you think it's his only season he had 30 home runs or
I mean, he may have come close with the Marlins, but
definitely like a
I
breakout year?
it was yeah, and it was just random because it followed a couple seasons that were not nearly as prolific in terms of
Yeah,
power numbers or anything like that. So I yeah, that would be
I'm
my
good with
guess
it.
here.
Yeah.
Josh Willingham, 0.9%, another hidden
Nice.
gem.
Okay, nice. In the
All
Marlins
right.
hat too.
In the Marlins hat, yeah.
Um, we talked about the Yankees Cleveland box, so
We
we
could.
could jump there if we want or save it. Um,
Yeah, I'm not, I mean,
why don't we do another one of these 30 home
I
run
was gonna say, yeah,
boxes?
Cleveland.
Cleveland 30 home runs. I
I
mean, you've
mean,
got
list
Manny, you've got that
Tomei,
whole team in the 90s.
Albert Bell,
Yeah.
Jose
Travis
Ramirez.
Hafner. Oh yeah,
Oh
Jose
yeah.
Ramirez, Travis Hafner later. Um,
What about this is actually one we could put in the middle too, but I think Richie Sexson spent some time
oh,
in Cleveland. Although I don't remember. Oh, wait a minute. Am I thinking I might be confusing him with Hafner? Sexton played for the Mariners. He played for the Brewers. He
okay.
played for the Yankees. I think he did play for Cleveland. I just
Do you
forget I said
think
this. I
that
don't remember if he had 30 home runs with them.
do
Hafner's
you
a good
think
one.
Franmil Reyes would have ever hit 30? He played for Cleveland, he played for the Padres, and he had such raw power, but I just don't know if he ever started enough to hit 30.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't think that he did. I wouldn't feel confident enough to put him
Yeah.
here. He may have, but I don't I
Jeff
wouldn't put him.
Kent, not really a power hitter for the for
Not
Cleveland,
not with Cleveland.
probably, maybe for
Yeah.
the Giants.
Yeah.
Um, I'm thinking other guys like Michael Brantley played for Cleveland, but I don't
You know, who
think,
was when we had Mike Santos on, I
yeah,
believe we used Jeff Manto
yeah,
and I forget it was Cleveland
like a
third
position
base,
threshold,
right?
I think, yeah.
Who was there was another guy he mentioned though. That was
Jacoby,
yeah, uh
something
Brooke
Jacoby,
Jacoby. And I
Brooke
think he
Jacoby.
mentioned him as a power hitter.
Oh
That
man, you
being
might be
said,
right. Yeah.
I don't know if he hit 30 home
Yeah,
runs.
yeah. Um,
But I think I
Hafner, I
remember,
think, is going to be fairly high. I think, he had a weird career in total, but I think people remember him as a power hitter. He had a ridiculous year one year, maybe 2001 or so, when
mm,
Ortiz ended up winning like most of the awards above him, but Hafner had a ridiculous season. So I don't know if that helps or not. Would Naylor have
I was
hit
just thinking,
30?
did Josh Naylor do it
Yeah,
in 2024? He may have.
possible.
Also something to consider. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a more recent grid, so the season may not have ended by the time when this grid came out, and I'm not sure if he would have passed the threshold, if he even did it at all.
Yeah.
Uh, uh
Yeah, this is tough. We've named a lot of names here. I mean, Hafner is the one I feel the most confident about, but I think it'll be
what about
fairly high.
would Jason Kipnis have done it? I don't know that he was that big
I'm
of a.
not
I mean,
sure.
he could hit some
Yeah.
home runs, but I don't know that he hit 30.
Yeah.
If you know and I'm wrong, comment and tell me how many times he hit over 30 home runs, but I'm not
Yeah.
fully confident.
I mean,
I
we're
mean,
not
it's I
using
think
JRAM, so I
no,
think,
I think your more popular one. I mean, Hafner, I don't think he's going to be a hidden gem, but I think Manny, Tomei, Jose Ramirez,
yeah, I think
Albert
you're
Bell are
right.
probably all going to be higher.
In my head, I think Hafner's like 11% or 20%, but I think I'm
I'm
hoping
gonna
for
guess
11.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess like 8. I'm
Okay.
hoping
I'd
it's
love
single
that.
digits,
Yeah.
but
Let's
we'll
go
see.
Travis Hafner. Yeah.
6. Hey, all
6.
right,
There
we'll
we
take
go.
that.
All right. Nice. We can salvage that. Yeah. That's not bad.
All right.
Um, I mean, 30 home runs played center field. There's a lot of options, actually. Um,
I mean, Ellis Burks
our guy.
probably got some time.
Yeah.
Love Ellis Burks.
Yeah. I almost
Uh,
mentioned him because he played for Cleveland, but I don't think he had 30 home runs when he played for Cleveland.
oh, that's right, he did.
I don't think he had it.
We've used this guy before, but Greg Vaughn was
Yep.
not primarily a center fielder. I think he was, I don't remember if he was more left field or right field, but I know that I've used him on other grids in a center field box, just kind of like, oh,
Hmm.
guys rotate around. He had to have played there once, and he did, but he definitely was not primarily a center fielder.
Yeah.
But he had multiple 40 home run seasons. He was a pretty big power hitter in the 90s. So I
Yeah.
think he works here for sure.
Yeah. I was
I
thinking
mean,
about man, I'm totally blanking on the position, but I was like doing a deep dive on like MVPs I didn't know, and Boog Powell came up for the
Boog, I think he was a
Orioles.
first baseman.
First baseman. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, and because well, I'm not saying he didn't play any other positions, but I
You're
think
probably right though.
because he was on the Orioles in 1969 when they played the Mets in the World Series, and I'm pretty sure he
Okay.
was their first baseman.
Okay.
Um,
I'm also thinking
yeah,
about infielders who moved out to the outfield, Knobloch, but he done never hit 30 home runs. Soriano would
no,
have.
yeah.
Definitely
Did he
played some
play?
outfields,
Did
but
he
I don't know
play
if he
center
played
though?
center as the thing. Yeah.
I think of him in left.
People,
Mm,
since we're talking about Yankees, people kind of forget how good Bernie Williams was. He would fit here. He hit 30. I don't
did
know
he?
how rare he'll be. Bernie had like several hundred RBI seasons.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's the first guy that comes up when you think no, just not a knock on
No,
him at all,
yeah.
but he's like when you think of the power hitters from the time he was around, he was around when guys were
Yeah.
hitting 50 and
He
60.
sort of just gets lost in that lineup
Yeah.
because it was such a good team, but Bernie does fit, and we've never thrown him on the grid.
We have never the and there was one more guy, I think he was center field. Remember when Brady Anderson had that like 50
Yeah.
something home run season for the
Oh,
Orioles? I
yeah.
think he was their center fielder at the time.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
but
good with either of those.
how confident are you that Bernie hit 30?
Yeah, I'm good. I know he hit 30.
You
Yeah.
do okay.
Um,
All right, let's get
yeah, I
another
mean,
Yankee in the
hopefully
mix.
I don't let us down.
Bernie Williams, 2%.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Um,
All
center
right.
field for the Rangers. So
I mean,
I
more
mean,
recently, I think Josh Hamilton played center field for them.
yeah,
Um,
Kenny Lofton, we've used a ton, so I want to avoid him a
Lofton,
little bit.
L
Jankowski.
Leody Taveras.
Oh
I
yeah.
think. I think that Delino DeShields Jr. played some
Oh,
center field for them. I think he came up as a second baseman. I think.
okay.
But then they also, because he was fast, and they used his speed in the outfield as well. And I think he played center field for them too.
You mentioned speed, and sometimes I've been trying to fit him on the grid. Who's the guy who was like the special runner basically for playoff teams? Gore.
Terrence Gore, but he was
Did
he
he?
was Kansas City. I don't think he ever
Okay.
played for Texas.
Okay. Okay.
Here's a guy we used for I think 30 stolen bases. Tom Goodwin
Oh,
played for the Rangers, and I think he played center field.
yeah.
Not 100% sure. It would be a risk, but I think Goodwin might fit
Um,
here.
Chad Curtis, played for the Rangers and the Yankees and the Braves. He was an outfielder. For the Yankees, he
Mm.
was a corner outfielder. I don't know if he played center field, but I know he played the outfield for center field. There's a chance he works for Cleveland Rangers, but I'm not as confident that he played for Cleveland.
Didn't Ricky
Um,
Leday play for Texas also?
yeah, good point too. Ricky Leday played for Yankees, Mets, Phillies, Rangers.
There's a
Man, I
few
wish I
others
knew about
too.
Chad Curtis because I feel like
Padres,
he'd
maybe.
be a decent one, but
Yeah, I haven't thought about Chad Curtis in a long time.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
hmm,
yeah. I mean, Delino was a good call, I think.
yeah,
I don't know why Bourne, is on the tip of my tongue, but I don't know if he played
Michael
for
Bourne.
yeah,
Michael Bourne played for Houston. He played for
Houston,
the
yeah.
Phillies, and I think he played for the Braves. Did he
Yes,
play
I
for
don't know that
Texas?
he helped us here. Um,
I feel more I feel more confident, I'm using this word loosely, in DeShields than
yeah,
because I know DeShields was on Texas, and
yeah.
I think he played some in center field for them.
Just one other to throw out there. Carl Everett, was Texas one of his teams?
I think they were. I think he was a right fielder.
Right field.
And
Yeah.
again, this is like
Right.
so
Who
many
knows? Maybe
guys
he got in a game.
rotate. Yeah, but
Um,
I'm pretty sure he was primarily a right fielder. He played with Texas. He played for the Mets, the White Sox, bunch of
Boston.
other
Yeah.
Boston, Florida, I think. A couple others probably. He bounced around a bit. Um, I don't know. I don't know if he played center though.
Yeah, I would say Delino. I'm only thinking a corner outfielders. The only other one is Ezekiel Duran, because he jumped all over that one season, and I know he played some outfield, but I don't know if it was center again. So maybe
Yeah.
Delino is the one.
You want to go Delano?
Yeah, I mean, we'll look this up after, and I feel like half of our options probably worked, but
All right. Here we go. Delano to Shields, 3%. Okay.
okay, all right, not bad.
All right.
Um, all right.
So,
So maybe we close out with the Yankees. So
yeah,
instead we
that's
do Guardians, Rangers here.
so Emmanuel Clase started with Texas,
Oh,
but he's so good now that I think
yeah,
people are probably
yeah.
reasonably aware of his existence. I'm trying to think of actually, did Ricky Lete play in Cleveland?
Man, I don't know. And I'm thinking again about Chad Curtis. It's gonna bug me.
Mm.
I'm gonna look it up as soon as we end this. But
So Lofton works here, but Lofton was a long time. He played
yeah, I think.
almost 10 years in Cleveland, so
Yeah, I don't think that will be
he's
too
not going to
helpful.
be rare.
Corey Kluber too.
Oh yeah, Corey
Um,
Kluber, didn't he only have like one start with the Rangers? He got
and then you
injured
got
like very early in his first season with them, or
yeah,
his only season with them. He may, I mean,
they
but again, he
actually
won the
like a
Cy Young with
year
Cleveland, so he,
probably is like fairly remembered. A year later, they had a Corey Kluber bobblehead day at the Rangers, because they had made the bobbleheads before he got
mm,
hurt. So,
yeah. Cliff Lee works here from,
oh
you know, were they in the same? I feel like we had this conversation before where I've
yeah,
misplaced Cliff Lee. I think Cliff Lee was there probably 10 years before Kluber, and I said, oh yeah, Cliff Lee and
yeah.
Kluber were teammates. They weren't.
You know
Um,
who works here is Austin Hedges, um, backup catcher
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
the Guardians,
And
right?
when
And then he was on the World Series team.
and
Um,
he pitched in 22. We
he
did
did,
that little
yeah.
segment on Austin Hedges pitching in
He kind of has, yeah, you're right. In that stat episode.
when did he play for Tech? I'm trying to place. I know
So
he played.
he was on the Rangers for the World Series run, actually.
Oh, he
And
was.
because
That's right.
Austin Hedges comes on one of my favorite podcasts to listen to. It's called the Chris Rose Rotation.
Okay.
So go listen to that. Chris Rose is awesome. And he has like Tyler Glass now, Austin Hedges, um,
I,
Giolito. So he was on both of these teams for sure.
okay. I
Um,
like that because again, these you know, these platoon or part-time or
Yeah,
backup catchers don't get a lot of recognition
yeah,
on the grids. I'm down with this. You want to go hedges?
yeah. Let's go Hedgie. Yeah.
3%. Wow.
Okay. You know what?
Okay.
He's fairly active in the media now. Like he's on a
Yeah.
couple podcasts. I
Yeah,
feel like
that's
he's got
true.
like a popular little following.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Yankees Guardians. We mentioned Greg Allen.
Greg Allen. Kenny
I don't
Lofton played for the
think
Yankees, right?
Kenny Lofton played here. The big one is probably Andrew Miller.
Andrew Miller. Yeah, he'll be probably one of the
Yeah,
higher answers. Kluber works here.
Kluber.
Jabba Chamberlain pitched in
Jabba
Cleveland. Right.
works.
He also pitched because I know that the game with the midges, he was on the Yankees, but
Yes.
that was in
Yeah.
Cleveland. But I think he then went to Detroit, Cleveland.
The Royals.
Was he on the Royals?
He was because I remember in the when the Yankees played the Royals in the postseason, he was at one of the games and he was talking. He did a media interview before how he played for both teams.
Okay.
So he works.
Oh, you know who works here? Do you remember Austin Kearns?
No, actually.
Oh, that's good. That's actually the answer I wanted to hear because
Yeah, I don't
so Austin
remember
Kearns,
him.
he was an
Yeah.
outfielder for the Reds. And I think he came to the Yankees from the Reds. He only played for them. He was like one of the trade line acquisitions in
Okay.
whatever year that was. And I think he had maybe one season in Cleveland
Oh
later in his
yeah.
career, but he was a decent player. I just don't, he
Yeah.
wasn't like, I mean, I don't think a lot of people are going to think of him as a Yankee.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
don't
mean, you
remember
said
him.
you don't
Yeah.
remember, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that he works here.
The other one is Shane Spencer, but he kind of had like a little ridiculous run
Was he
that
the guy who hit
year.
like 8 home runs in a very
Yeah.
short span of games
Yes.
in
And
like the
then had
late?
like a carried it into the playoffs
Yeah,
too. I think our best bets here are Greg Allen and Austin Kearns. And I don't honestly, I did not remember Kearns. So if you're confident about the teams, I would say that's a really good one.
I think he did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate to I don't want to steal the Yankee
No, I
box
mean,
from
I
you.
love learning about a guy I didn't even know. So let's do it.
All right, I better not biff this. Austin Kearns. Oh, he did it. 0.2% hidden
Nice.
gem to finish
Yeah.
off the grid. And
Nice.
we are
Oh
one
no.
above what we would call a rarefied air, but this
This
is a
is common
Maddox.
air. This is just, yeah, it is a Maddox.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just air, regular air.
Yeah. I
But
mean, we
yeah,
had a triple play in this one. I think at
we
one point we
did.
had four hidden gems in a row.
We started with four hidden gems, and that was it. Oh,
Yeah,
until
yeah,
Kearns at the end. Yeah.
yeah. It's a
So
good
yeah,
grid. A lot of players we haven't used.
not only players we haven't used, but outside of R.A. Dickey and Denny Nagel, and then I mean we've talked about Hedges, but not on a grid. These are
Yeah,
all new names for us, so
yeah.
good for us, right?
The Discord, man, I'm
Right?
telling you, like
Yeah.
the Gidry, there's no way I would have pulled Gidry in center field if it wasn't for the Discord. And I mean, yeah, join
I
that. I mean, just like get around other
definitely,
grid people.
yeah, definitely do that. That is also though to acknowledge that none of these names outside of Gidry
That's
came
true.
from the
That's true.
Discord. Like
Yeah, I just
we're
I'm
talking
looking
like,
forward to telling the Discord about this one,
oh yeah, yeah. I
but
mean
you're
you,
right. Hey, we're getting a little better at this, Mike. So I'm sure
yeah,
the next grid will score 700, but
yeah, yeah. No, no, we're not. We're better than that. All right.
Man.
Ordinary Effort on Instagram and Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Check us out. We have the audio version on podcast. If you're watching, if you're listening, check us out on our YouTube channel where you can see us visually do all this stuff. Come to our Discord. It's a lot of fun where you can learn about guys like Bobo Newsom and Baby Doll Jacobson. Like there's so many dead ball era guys. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll be here. Thanks for watching.